My name is Audrey Crawford. I'm 32 years old, and 2 months ago, on Thanksgiving night, my own parents humiliated me in front of 30 relatives, handed my sister a $13,000 luxury cruise, and gave me a crumpled $2 lottery ticket. They laughed when they gave it to me, like it was a harmless joke, like it was funny, like I was funny, like I had always been the extra child, the spare one, the forgettable one. But what they didn't know, what none of them knew, was that tiny, wrinkled ticket would quietly destroy every lie they had built their lives on. Because that useless ticket, it was worth $100 million, and this isn't just a story about money. It's about favoritism, betrayal, family, masks, and what happens when the quiet daughter finally stops accepting her place at the bottom. Thanksgiving night in our family. Thanksgiving was never warm. It looked warm from the outside, candles, food, smiles, photos, but it was all performance. Everyone had a role to play. Dad played the successful patriarch, Mum played the perfect host. My sister Vivian played the golden child, and me, I played the helper, the quiet one, the one who set the table, washed the dishes, and stayed out of the way. I arrived at exactly 5 o'clock with a homemade autumn salad and a bouquet of flowers I grew myself, deep burgundy. Dahlias I'd spent months raising them. They were kind of my pride. Mum opened the door, looked at them for half a second, then sighed. You're still doing the plant thing? Not they're pretty. Not thank you, just that. Before I could even step inside, Vivian pulled up behind me. Mum practically shoved past me. There's my girl. Hugs, kisses, compliments about her dress, like she'd just come home from war. I stood there, holding my flowers, feeling stupid. Dad barely looked up. Double quotes, Audrey good. Help set the table, of course. That was my welcome. Work first, always the conversation. I wasn't supposed to hear later, while grabbing plates from the kitchen. I heard voices, low, excited, secretive. Dad, Mum, Vivian, talking, like kids planning a surprise. The cruise leaves December 15th. 14 days. First class. The whole family. I froze. The whole family. My heart did this tiny, hopeful thing. Then Vivian asked, casually, what about Audrey? Silence. A long silence. Then Dad said flatly, she's busy, and it's expensive. That was it. Decision made. No discussion, no invite, no thought. I wasn't even worth asking. It wasn't anger I felt. It was something worse, that slow, heavy feeling of realizing you were never included to begin with. The gift after dinner. Dad tapped his glass, that fake smile he used when pretending to be generous. Your mother and I have something special for our daughters. Vivian went first, a thick envelope. She opened it, started screaming. 14 Caribbean cruise. For her, Marcus, the kids, first class. The whole room clapped like she'd won an award. Mum looked proud. Dad looked proud, like they'd just invested in their future. Then Mum turned to me, holding a thin little envelope, already creased. She handed it over. Inside, one single lottery ticket, $2. She laughed. Actually laughed. This is more appropriate for your situation. The room erupted. Little jokes, little smirks. Marcus muttered, Luck won't help without brains. More laughter, and for a second, my face burned so badly I thought I might cry right there, but I didn't. I just smiled, because something inside me changed, not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, like a door closing for good. Grandma, later that night, my grandmother squeezed my hand. She had always been the only one who really saw me. Her voice was soft. "Call Thomas Smith this week, a lawyer," she whispered. I didn't understand why, but there was something serious in her eyes, so I promised. If there's one thing I learned in life, when a wise old woman gives you advice, you listen. The discovery, while everyone else laughed in the living room, I cleaned up, like always. That's when I found the papers. Debt notices read, stamps. Final warnings. Then one document made my stomach drop. A $180,000 loan. Dad's name, Marcus's name, and the collateral. Grandma's house, her home of 40 years, and the signature date. The day after her surgery, the day she was drugged and barely conscious. They tricked her, my own parents. I felt sick, suddenly. Everything made sense. I wasn't ignored because I was useless. I was ignored because I noticed things, because I asked questions, because I wouldn't just smile and nod. I was inconvenient, and inconvenient people get pushed aside. The ticket check. A week later, I checked the lottery numbers, honestly, just to prove to myself how ridiculous that gift was. First number matched, okay. Weird second matched. My heart started beating faster. Third, fourth, fifth. By the last number, my hands were shaking. I refreshed the page 3 times. Same numbers, same numbers, same result. $100 million. I didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't celebrate. I just sat there in silence, because suddenly everything felt very quiet. Then I remembered. Call Thomas Smith, the lawyer, and the truth. Thomas explained more than I expected. 10 years ago, Grandma created a secret $500,000 trust fund for me, only me, because she knew my parents couldn't be trusted with money. She believed in me all this time. Someone had, and now with the lottery money, I had power, not revenge power, protection power. We challenged the house deed, legally gathered medical records, witness statements, everything clean, everything lawful. I wasn't going to scream or destroy them. I was going to outsmart them quietly more. Lies. Then Aunt Marlene told me about Marcus. Not a consultant, basically a legal loan shark. Predatory, lending, shady contracts, and cheating on Vivian with his assistant. Perfect family suddenly looked rotten. Everything they built was fake, and fake things collapse fast. The call when they left for their cruise. I stayed home. Prepared then. I scheduled one video call. They answered from the ship, all fake smiles. Extra sweet voices. Fishing. Bull quotes. Did you check that lottery ticket yet? I said it simply. Yes, I won. 100 million. Chaos then. Marcus immediately offered to manage my money. That's when I shared my screen, loan papers, Grandma's house, cheating, messages, everything, silence, then shouting, crying, blaming. I just said, I'm paying off the debt. The house goes back to Grandma. None of you will ever touch it again. and I ended the call. Aftermath. I didn't need revenge. Truth handled everything. Marcus got exposed. Investigations started. Vivian divorced him. Dad filed bankruptcy. Their perfect life collapsed like wet cardboard. I didn't push. I just stepped aside and let reality hit them. Today Grandma's home is restored, warm, safe, filled with sunlight. I started a foundation in her name, helping girls who grew up like me, the invisible ones, the overlooked ones, because sometimes all someone needs is one person who believes in them. People ask if the money changed. Me, no. The disrespect changed me. The lottery just gave me freedom, the strength that was always there, waiting now. I'm 30-3, peaceful, independent, happy, and for the first time in my life, I don't feel small. Turns out, the joke gift was the biggest blessing of all. If this story hit you, if you've ever felt invisible, comment, I choose me. And remember, sometimes the smallest ticket buys the biggest freedom.